Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Glad to have you. My name is Larry. My eyes look a little funny today. I had cataracts removed on one eye, and now my eyes are kind of going. "Meh, meh." So some things are a little blurry, and some things are real clear. So I'm going to wear my glasses, hopefully, just for another couple of weeks, and I'll be done with them. But what I'm going to talk about today is uh, aging gracefully. Now, for me, aging gracefully kind of seems like an oxymoron, but I'm going to try to do it the best I can. I'm doing this. I'm doing this video more for me to convince myself, I think, than I am anybody else. But we need to age gracefully, and that's what I'm going to try to do. First thing I need to do is make sure I keep my mind active, and this is different for everyone. You got to keep your mind active because if you don't use it, you lose it. You'll probably hear me say that a few times in this video. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. And just to sit down in front of a computer screen or a television screen, your mind is really not active. You got to do something intentional to make sure that you stay mentally sharp. It can be online learning. It can be learning a new language. I had one of my subscribers. He's on his fourth language already. I have a hard enough time with English, as most of you all know. And that's great. That's great for him. Another thing, YouTube is mine though. YouTube keeps me sharp, sharp as I can be at this stage of my life. It's getting to be a little challenging. My channel has grown, and I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. I'm still kind of shocked anybody even watches it, let alone subscribes to it. But I'm humbled by it. I am humbled by it. But it is challenging for me. I do some research for some of these videos. Well, for most of the videos, and just try to keep things in the right perspective. And but it keeps my mind sharp. It gives me something to do every day mentally. Mentally. Another big thing we should concentrate on to age gracefully is have some kind of rhythm in our life, some kind of routine in our life, like your morning routine. I'm sure we all have them, whether it's planned or just by accident, but we all have routines. And my routine in the morning is pretty simple. I go to bed about 9 o'clock. I get up about 2 o'clock. I know that's 5 hours sleep. That's no sleep. That's not enough sleep. In my old age, I wake up at 2 o'clock and I can't go back to sleep. I've tried and I've tried and I just can't go back to sleep. So I just bite the bullet and go downstairs and turn on the TV, lay back down on the couch. I generally sleep a little bit more, another hour or two. Of course, I do get a nap in before the day is over. But that's just the way my life has worked out. They also, one of the suggestions is to have a rhythm and a routine is to eat your meals at regular times. That way it kind of keeps you in the scheme of things. That doesn't work for me. I've always been as a contractor, I was always eating on the fly. And I've just kind of morphed into that in my retirement. I eat when I'm hungry. Now I'm kind of on a self-inflicted special diet. I'm very low carb, mostly carnivore diet. Eat a lot of meat and animal products. So when I get hungry, I just eat. I just before I came over here to do this, I just had some breakfast sausage and 3 fried eggs. And that'll hold me till probably 2 or 3 o'clock, and then I'll eat again. But then I'll eat again before I go to bed with some kind of meat snack, and that's the way it works for me. But you should have some kind of routine. One of the things we need to do specifically is we need to be intentional about being social. Now, we all know these people who live by themselves and they don't see many people, and you can see the mental decline. If you don't see them, but every once in a while, you can really see the mental decline. And isolation does that to people. They get kind of weird in their old age. And I can see why. I can definitely see why. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. Be intentional about being social. Um, I've found that most older people, including myself, we get very opinionated, and we don't want to change our mind about things. We don't have an open mind about some things, and we are right. And if you live alone, that's definitely true because there's nobody there to make hold you accountable to any of your thoughts or actions or your words. So just don't become one of those people. Now, what I do is I try to be very intentional. I've got I'm filming this on a Saturday. I got coffee. I got 2 coffee dates already scheduled for next week, and it's Thanksgiving week. I got one coffee date with a friend of mine I haven't I haven't seen him for a while, about a year or two, but we were childhood friends, and we just kind of grew apart and had different interests. And so I'm gonna have a coffee date with him. I talked to him on the phone for about 30 minutes yesterday, and it was good. It was good reconnecting a little bit. But I'm trying to be intentional about it. Now he does other things. He bowls a couple times a week, and he does this and he does that. So he's got some social interaction there. And then I also have another coffee date on Wednesday with basically a shut-in friend of mine, and he's not totally shut in, but for the most part. So I take him coffee over, and I get to talk to him and his wife, and it gets me out, and I do it. They think I'm doing it for them, and I'm him, and I'm not. I'm doing it for myself because that forces me to get out there. Of course, the big thing, you've all heard this, what's your purpose? You've got to find yours. You've got to find your purpose. You just can't. We're in the fourth quarter of our life, and we just don't want to exist. What's your purpose? What do you get? What gets you out of bed every day? Gets you out of bed every day. Mine, I've said in the previous video, I like to serve others in a small way. It doesn't have to be in a large group or in a big way, but just to serve others in some small way. My main focus now, at this stage of my life, is to make sure my wife is taken care of in case something happens to me. And that's what I'm focusing on, and that's one of the reasons that I started this YouTube channel. Um, I want to make sure she is taken care of. We have all our ducks in a row and all that, but everything I can do to make her life easier once I'm gone, because the odds are I'll probably go first. That's not always the case, I know. But nursing homes aren't exactly filled up with a bunch of old men. They're usually older women. So just saying, and that's one of my big purposes. One of the things I've done is to age gracefully is I've simplified everything. I mean everything. I'm a simple man anyway, and I've always had a tendency to this. I'm a minimalist in some areas, like my clothes. Uh, I mean, my closet is looks bare. It looks like nobody's living there hardly. But I have a few of the same shirts and a few of the same pants, and I don't have to think about it when we're going out somewhere. I don't have to think about it. I know what I'm going to put on. It's not a big deal. But I've simplified everything. In fact, I made a video. You might want to check it out if you're new here about downsizing in place, not moving or getting a smaller home. Downsizing in place. Very, very, very liberating. Very liberating. One thing I've learned to simplify my life is I've learned how to say no. It didn't take me long. I was probably in my 40s or so before I figured out that my mouth can say no just as easy as it can say yes. For example, I don't do weddings. I don't like weddings. I've never liked weddings. I always went to weddings, but I didn't like them. So now I just don't do weddings. My wife usually, if it's somebody we know, she'll usually find somebody to go with her. However, next year I've got 3 weddings already planned out that I've got to go to. These are young adults, and I want to encourage them. Young adults who are getting married who we've known for a long time. So I'll be going to some weddings, but I'm saying no to most things like that. Big thing we need to do to age gracefully is maintain our health, and that's different for everybody. It's different for everybody. I'm a gym rat. I love going to the gym because we're all breaking down. I mean, we're all from the time we're born to a certain point, we're growing, but from a certain point on, we're breaking down, and about anybody watching this channel is breaking down right now. But I don't want to break down quickly. I don't want to break down quickly. I can see a lot of my friends, they're my same age, and I feel for them because they've never done anything physical. And now that they're older, it's really starting to show. A few years back, I went to college. I played, for those who don't know, I played Division I college basketball, and I went back for this reunion type thing about 10 years ago. And so I was in probably 60, thereabouts. And my teammates, I mean, there was just about every teammate had a shoulder surgery or a knee replacement or a hip replacement, and I'm like, wow, I guess I am in pretty good shape compared to them. But we're all breaking down. We're all breaking down. I have a good friend of mine at church. He's just a little guy, but he was very fit, very fit. He's hiked a lot of places, and back in the day, he was I won't say power lifter or bodybuilder, but he benched like 300. He showed me a picture of when he did it. Yeah, I have no doubt that he could do that. But now he's just falling apart. You know, it's part of the aging process. He's had some shoulder surgeries. Had I think he's had a knee or a hip replacement. He's just got all kinds of issues. He's dealing with it. He's got a good attitude, and but he is aging gracefully, even instead of all that, in place of all that. We need to focus on joy also, not just fun and games. The name of the channel is Retirement Survival. I want to retire. I want to survive retirement in the best way possible that I can do. Take pleasure in the little things. So the first cup of coffee in the morning, your friends, being outdoors like I am now. I love being outside. I just love being outside. So I'm going to film as many as I can outside as long as the weather holds up. And even then, I might just put a hat and gloves on and go outside because I just love it. And of course, one of the simple pleasures we have that brings me joy is a nap. Now, I got up at 4 o'clock this morning, and before I came over here, the wife was upstairs working on something, and I just hit the couch about half an hour, I guess. Got me a little nap in. It all felt good. But the big thing is to accept the things you can't change. And that's hard. That's hard for all of us. It doesn't. I'll never go backpacking again. I've backpacked hundreds, if not thousands of miles. I love backpacking. I'll never do that again. I'll never do that again. I used to do a lot of rafting, Gully River, New River, Ocoee River, rivers I've forgotten about already. I'll never be able to do that again. I just can't. I just can't. And I'll tell you what, I miss working. I enjoyed my work. I was one of those people, I enjoyed my work. I like taking something ugly every day and making it look pretty. But I'll never be able to do that again. Here's a little saying for you, and I'm going to end with this. Some things you can control, and some things you can't. And wisdom is knowing which one is which. Some things you can control, some things you can't, and the wisdom is knowing which is which. And that's what I'm focusing on right now. If you got anything out of this, like, share, subscribe, and until we meet again, I'm going to continue to press on towards that goal.